Today is March the 9th, 2015. My name is Tanya Finchum, along with Alex Bishop. We're with Oklahoma State University.
Oh, boy.
And today we're in Tulsa, Oklahoma to speak with Owen Brown, and this is part of our Oklahoma 100-Year Life Project, so thank you for talking with us today.
Maybe that's what that woman was telling me about. Somebody was going to come and talk to me.
That would be me.
Well, there's the lady downstairs. Maybe it's tomorrow. She talked about that man that I was last year. Maybe she was referring to you people. I didn't know, honey.
That's okay. Let's start with having you tell us when and where you were born.
I was born in Missouri on the farm. They didn't take me to the hospital. They didn't go to the hospital. Some of them did because they had large families. I was one of 9.
Wow. And where in that were you? What number were you?
I was the last one born.
You was the baby.
And I outlived them all.
You were the runt. You were the last one.
My dad was 97, he passed away.
Okay.
And my aunt was 94, sister 93, and brother 92, and that's all of them. All the rest of them died before then. Some of them had wrecks, got to, you know what I mean there.
They got helped along a little bit.
And they,
So what year were you born?
1914.
And what month?
October 15, 1914.
And you were born at home. What did your dad do for a living?
He's a farmer.
What did he farm?
What did he farm?
Uh-huh.
Well, he and Grandpa were in cahoots. They had 150 acres, each had 75 acres apiece. And if one of them needed to help, he'd go and they would help each other. And they had fire, burned Grandpa's house, Dad's house, and so he moved in with Grandma and Grandpa. And then, let's see, then, finally, Grandpa's friends in Allendale, Missouri, moved to Grant City, Missouri, which is the county seat of Worth County. And then Grandma and Grandpa moved in Allendale, and Howard was supposed to go to everything and help do the chores and go to school there. I went to country school myself. I had one teacher to about 40 students, and if I'm talking too fast, I'm sorry.
No, you're doing great. Keep going.
There was, sometimes we'd have blackbirds right across the room. We had a lot of wood outside. We'd have to carry it in. Sometimes we'd play drop the handkerchief. Sometimes Andy over at the schoolhouse. And then there was a well down there. We carried the water from there to the drink, and excuse me, the boys over here, the girls' restroom was over there, up on top of the hill.
Outside.
Outside.
How was the schoolhouse heated?
And it was regular schoolhouse chairs, had a desk, and a seat over here, and then we had a potbelly stove.
Ah, okay.
If you know what a potbelly stove is, a big stove, and the stove was sort of like in the center of the schoolhouse, and there's a great big chimney went over there. And
how would you get there?
Walk.
How far?
Oh, 3/4 of a mile, about a half mile, maybe 3/4 of a mile. I did that for about, let's see, I didn't go to school, I was born in October, and the 7th of October. Therefore, I had to wait until I became 7 years old before I could go to school. On account of where I was born, and you were supposed to go in September, but I didn't go until still October.
Okay. So you were one of the older ones in your class, or younger?
Well, I'm saying yes, Some are old, some are younger.
Okay.
I was about medium. I'm gonna say pretty close to good. I'll say half.
What was your favorite subject?
Shaper.
What class lesson did you like the best? Math, science, what?
Math, I'm gonna put down arithmetic, yeah.
You like numbers.
Yes, I did. So I did. I got lots of compliments on me when I'm thinking about it now. Good teachers, and because some of the teachers would come and spend the night with us because they had to go so far, and they stayed with Lola and Ruth, my sisters, half sisters, from my dad's first wife. See, Dad's first wife passed away with her seventh child. Maybe I told you.
No, that's okay.
And then Mother, he went to the bank. This is my interpretation. He went to the bank, and the bank told him that there was a woman at their clothing store, and she had two boys from her first husband, but she was making dresses for women to wear. And she had her sewing machine, and she was making dresses for people to wear, women to wear. And he got to meeting her and talking to her, and finally they got married, and I was the one that was born from them. I was the only child, and I was the last child.
Okay.
See, Dad's first wife passed away with her seventh child. Lest Timothy knew. Then he went on to my mother, and I was born. I was the last one born.
Well, was that seventh child, did it survive? Or did it die too?
It died with his mother.
Okay. So 6 with him, and then 2, and then 1. Okay, that's where the 9 comes.
Yeah, I was the ninth. I was the ninth child.
Your father's, okay, 7th, 6th, whatever.
My dad was.
He farmed.
Yeah, he farmed, and
Did he farm cattle, or was it corn?
he farmed corn and cat, and then livestock. He took care of his livestock, and there was a farmer. There was a trucker that came through, and if they needed to take some stuff to St. Joseph, Missouri, why they would sell it there, and then Dad would take what they were giving to him, and then he paid him. And then Dad would probably go to Grant City and talk to a banker, because that's what they were sort of in cahoots with the other, and each would help each other. I have a son, the same thing, he's doing the same thing because he has his own boat repair shop. And this is my instructions now, that he goes, whatever happened in his boat repair shop. And that's what Daddy did. When he needed any help, he'd go to the bank, and Dad talked to him and talk with each other, and then they'd go from there on.
Well, did you have to help on the farm?
Yes, ma'am. Later on, when we moved to Dad, I came in, I was a little tot, about 3 years old. I became a very pretty looking, nice horse, Charlotte-like horse. I want to ride Charlie. My brother took Charlie down there and put a saddle on him, came back to me and put me on that horse. Oh boy, I felt good. And later on in life, I got the chance to work that horse. I got to ride him myself, put the saddle on him myself, and went to Sunday afternoon with some boys. And I came back, and then I had to go get the cows and milk cows every night and every morning too. And I got to ride Charlie. I liked Charlie. And Dad had a mare, Black Blaze. She had colt now and then, but it was she and Charlie were my team to work. They were my team. And I moved to Allendale. He and I would help him corn. I'd plow corn and have a team hitched to a cultivator. We plowed, and then one time he had some property that he rented, oats. I think it was oats. And it stirred, and then he put the thresh machine, threw some stuff into the haymow at the house, and we had a threshing crew. Then we had we had 20 acres of corn. Sometimes he'd rent some from other people. We'd have maybe 10, have about 30, altogether we'd have about 35 acres of corn to get each summer. We'd have to plow with the cultivator and the team hitched to the cultivator. And Dad had a team. Dad had a span of mules. He raised, and that was his team, Jed and Joey. Jed would have to lay back, and Dad would hit him at the line, and maybe he'd get up, and then sometimes we had a little dog, tell the little dog to nip him on the heel. And he'd nip him on the heel, and then he'd get in and do his part, and then often there was a while we'd had to whip him with the strength of the line to keep him pull his share.
And that was Jed?
Jed and Jerry. Jerry was a good thing. He wouldn't have to tell anything to Jerry because he always did his part, but Jed would have to, he'd laying up. One time when Jerry passed away, Dad and I had some fun, which Jed plowed the garden with. And Jed kind of lagged up, and Dad and I told him, Jed, Charlie, and Jerry isn't here, now you have to do it yourself. Dad and I had some fun to see Jed hope with Jerry to pull some of his strength, but Jerry wasn't there to do it. And Dad, I don't know what he did, what Dad did do though, Jerry. He might have sold him, or because when I had a chance in 1931 by my mother's sister. In 1918, they were wanting doctors here in Tulsa. And Annie had a sister, married an osteopath. And she said, if he can do it, I can do it. Well, she went to school and got her degree in osteopathy. And then in 1918, Tulsa was wanting doctors here in Tulsa, and she came down and started her practice. Then in 1931, I guess it was, 1931, I was told to come to Tulsa and she would put me through high school. So I rode to town. They had a meeting down there, building down there I can't think of the name of the thing. Anyhow, I had a building down there. People would come in and stay all night or something like that. And they were going to go to Mexico. And then I'd have to ride in the back end of that pickup, make me a pallet back there. And then the wife, there the front, man and wife bed in front, and I'd have a pallet back there for me to rest in. So I got that all fixed. And I came down here, we about halfway the first day. The second day, we got down to Tulsa by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And I called my auntie, and she come and got me. And I was with her then in she put me through high school, and each summer I'd go back home and help my dad on the farm, and then didn't do that until I graduated in 1935. And here's my ring, 1935.
It sure is.
And with Addie's help,
Well, from what high school? What was it?
Central High School, we're public services right now.
Central.
We're public services, I guess that's the name of it, honey, from this street from that church.
1935.
The same place where that, and I down to church one Sunday night. Here's something now you'll show you. And here came a girl, and I thought she was the prettiest girl I ever saw. We got to dating. She had a degree in typewriting and stuff like that. Had a degree in, I can't remember the word. But anyhow, she was public service company. That's what she was, working for a public service company. And they were transferred from Chickasha to Tulsa. And I got to meet some of the boys that did the same thing. They were being transferred to Tulsa from other places. And they got a degree, they had a raise in pay, and Lorraine got one too. But she had a degree, she had got a improvement because she had a degree or something. So yeah, she could type and do machine, honey, and we don't know mistakes.
Mm.
And I thought to myself, she's the one, she's the one, she's the one. And we got married. And we were married, oh yeah. The church was about halfway, the auditorium was about halfway done. Annie sat in the part, my mother's sister, sat in that part during our wedding. And I can't think of what the year was. But anyhow, we got married. And there's about, 3 or 4 maybe. Oh yeah, we were living in an old shackle house. Our 2 boys were born, and they're in chickens in west of Tulsa. I'll think of it per se maybe. And you get your new part, get your new home, you need to be on this. So we had Saturday, we got on my car. We found a brand new home south of the fairgrounds, brand new houses. And I found me one on the corner, empty, and the schoolhouse was right over there. The boys didn't have to walk very far to school like I did have to. That's one reason why I wanted to get a good, close house. Brand new home. Lady next door to me, she thought they'd have a driver, and between houses, called it a color, I can't think of the word. But she thought there'd be a driveway from the back end, in between the houses. I told her, I said, well, until that time comes, I'm gonna put me a shed for my lawnmower and stuff like that, and lay the fence as is. But it never did come, never has come yet. She apologized to that because she had already fixed her son a cement for her lawnmower to sit on or something, build or something. And but she thought she'd have a driveway here across, but there was no driveway in the back between your houses. It's still there, and the house is still shaped. They got more privacy and fences.
And your wife's name was Doreen?
Lorraine, L-O-R-A-D.
Lorraine.
Lorraine, Alice Lorraine Brown, Freeman Brown.
And you were already out of high school when you married?
Yes.
So that was in the late 30s maybe?
Yeah.
How long were you married before she passed?
40 years, 45 years.
Long enough to know her, huh?
Long enough to know her, honey.
And you had two
we had
children?
2 boys, Lewis and Terry. Lewis lived to be 65. And Terry, the one that's still living, he is 63. And Terry is the one that has, he and his wife, they have a boy that's 25, and he has a degree. He's in college now, and he's trying to get to senior in college, trying to get his degree in college.
So once you finished high school, what did you do for work?
Well, I found a job at 50 running tank engine machines. And I dated with her at the time. She said, "Get you a good job and we'll get married."
Mm-hmm.
I found me a job for $200 a month. Yeah, we got married. And then you find people, oil companies, $200 a month. And these oil companies to get $200 a month. And then I found the teacher's retirement check. They charged me out about, I'll say 100. Then I got raises here and there, and I got up to 200. And now I'm getting 400 from Tulsa Public Schools. Because I
So
worked there 14 years at Tulsa Public Schools.
doing what for them?
Lawnmowers, where I'm training and cleaning schoolhouses and doing work and cleaning room. They had no one time they had to clean the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And then that lasted until, and then I'd have to mop the floors, clean the floors. Never been, if they found one, they'd ask me to help. One time I went to go and help the lawnmower. These machines, they couldn't get in between the schoolhouse, the schools, and you had to do it with a lawnmower. Well, I had a ball, knocked the broken glass in the schoolhouse. I didn't have to pay for it, but they fixed it. They razzed me about that. But a lot of times I would help mow the grass with the big lawnmower couldn't get to. Let's see, what else?
So when you were helping your father, did you have a tractor after the team?
No, we never had tractors. No, we had the team. Each had a team. We plowed the corn with the cultivators. We never had tractors, honey.
And describe the house that you grew up in. Like how was it heated and that type of thing?
The schoolhouse?
No, the house you grew up in.
The house I grew up in, we had.
Was it 2 stories or one?
One story house, yes ma'am. And we had a kitchen stove, and then they had a living stove. And I might guess mine was gas. Yeah, I think it was gas.
Did you have to share a bedroom?
We had, my wife and I had a room, and then the boys had a room of their own. And then there's another room that had, we used for
Well, that was your
clothing store, clothing like that.
No, but when you were little.
When I was little,
when you were a child. What was your home like?
oh, well, when I grew up, after I got together, after I grew up, well, I helped milk cows. I went and got the cows, and someone got the horses in too. And I would milk cows, help gather corn. I'd drive the team while the brothers would throw the corn into the wagon. And I would horses. I would put the horse on horses myself.
What was your house like as a child?
What was my house like as a child?
Mm-hmm.
Well, my rooms, they had me downstairs for a while until I was old enough to go up with my brothers upstairs. We had a 2-story house. Well, older people, Lola and Ruth had a room, and then us men, we'd share with the other room ourselves. We had maybe 2 beds in there. And Fern and Raymond, mother's boys before he died, they had a room over the kitchen. And Raymond didn't like for her to Fern being with him, so Fern, there's a pallet in the room where Lola and Ruth were, and nobody was sleeping in it, so Fern got to leave to sleep in it until let's see. Yeah, till they got old enough to go up as that themselves. Raymond found him a job, I don't know what it was, but maybe a farmer or something, help him out. And then Fern thought he could do it, and then Fern had trouble with her, and he didn't have it done. He passed away, Fern did. And Raymond came to his funeral, and Raymond did. Raymond was married, and had a girl, I think it was. But Fern passed away young. He was about 31 or 32 when he passed away. Raymond, I guess he was in about 60s, I guess, when he passed away. He had a wreck. He got drunk and he'd shucked corn, Raymond had, and he had done so well that he got drunk and killed himself. And I told Annie, they called me, and she said, let's go to the funeral. So we went to his funeral, and maybe I shouldn't tell you, but asked how much it was, and Annie just wrote a check out to him, passed it on. Because Annie did good in this osteopathic as a doctor.
She was probably one of the first women to do that.
She was one of in our family, because Tulsa was born in osteopathy in 1931, and she came to Tulsa and started her practice. And then she started putting me in school in 1930. See, I graduated in 1930, so yeah, in 1931, I guess it was. 1930, then.
Where did she go to school?
He or she.
She went to a country school in Grass City, Missouri.
But I mean, in terms of osteopathic school.
Osteopathic, she went to a doctor's placement, and there was one in Allen, there's one in Missouri that she could go to, because she had a sister that was an osteopath, and she could, if he could do it, I could do it, so she was became an osteopath.
Did she go to Kirksville?
I don't know, what was that, eastern part of Missouri?
Northeastern?
Yeah.
AT Still?
That's it.
That's where I'm from.
I thought when I was talking to her, here you come in. Did he get permission from you?
Well, she would have studied under AT Still then.
Huh?
She probably would have studied under AT Still.
She probably did, yeah. She probably did, because, and I had what do you call it, things that I got, I can't think of the word, but they now showed me that she got all A's in her grade. She got all A's. Because I had things that she'd get them, whatever you call them.
Now, was religion an important part of your family?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we went to Sunday school lots of time when they were on the farm. we'd either walk, and then there was a road, a lot of trees. We cut that, we got permission from the Macon University to do that, clean it up. And then we've been driving the car, we go that way and then drive it over there. But we all went to church. There's a little, and it's still there yet, this little country schoolhouse, this little country school, they had a bell on it. But there's a funeral, a lot of people were buried there. Dad's first wife was buried there, and Dad was born in Illinois, and he was about 4 or 5 years, and they were moved from Grant City to Illinois to Walgreen, Iowa, before they get across the Missouri River. And then they scattered. Some of them stayed in Iowa. Like Crystal City was one of them, because we had some of my mother's relatives moved to Crystal City, Iowa. And they did, and then we all went, Dad and Grandma and Grandpa wandered down from Mount Ayr on a farm, and they stayed there. And there's where I was born. And
Were you ever baptized, or?
yes, sir, they was baptized in the puddle of water, excuse me. That's the only water we could find, a puddle of water in the river.
What river?
Lost Grove. I guess I can't think of the name. Lost Grove. Some kind of a Lost Creek.
Lost Creek.
And we find a puddle of water big enough to baptize people. I was 16 years old. That's before I came to Tulsa. And then when I was baptized, people here in Tulsa accepted me, and I've been in Tulsa since 1931, I guess. And now then, they had me ushering in the church, and they put me in a room to a slot. I'm a greeter, and they are proud of me. Because if I can't come, I'll call and let them know. But if I can come, the bus comes by and picks me up, and then bring me back.
So you're still the church greeter?
I'm still real. I'm a greeter, and I hand out programs and everything like that. And and he's happened to spy my name that I had, and he gave me a different one yesterday, and I put them on a shirt. Boy, shirt nicely. You can look at it. I'll show it to you.
Well, did you ever think you would live to be 100?
No.
No.
What's your secret?
Quit drinking. Quit drinking and make a man out of yourself.
Did you ever smoke?
Yes.
Did you give it up?
Yes. A long time ago. I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am. What else you want to ask me? I quit drinking too. I saw what they're doing to the brothers. I'm quitting.
You quit.
Just like that too.
Well, what would you do for exercise?
I had plenty to do, honey. Milk the cows, go with the cows, go with the horses, saddle, put the bridle on, put the harness on the horse, hitch him to the garden plow, to cultivator, and Charlie and Blaze was my team. Dad had a Spanish mules. Excuse me, ma'am, ma'am. Dad wanted the Spanish mules. He could have mare and a jack, and she had a little mule from him. They had I don't know what the word is. But anyhow, the little mule was born, and then they had about 3 years. He did the same thing again. Jed and Jerry was the mule's name. Jed was born first and Jerry next. And Jerry had gotten grown, and he having trouble with him getting his food or breathing. Dad called the doctor. The doctor came and found the trouble. Had him hang his head up like that, and then he'd give him medicine. He told Dad what to do, and Dad did that, and Jerry became all right. Lots of times, I helped my dad put harness on those 2 mules. We'd plow the garden. We'd each had a team. I'd have Charlie and Blaze was my team. Charlie was my sorrel horse, and Blaze was she had a little colt now and then. But she was Charlie's Blaze, and she and Charlie were, Blaze and Charlie was my team. And Jen and Jerry was Dad's 2 mules was his team.
Well, would your mother can up all this stuff that was in the garden?
My mother was we had a garden, and mother would do canning, yes. And we had a cellar downstairs. We had a cave in the first house. Dad had built a cave. I remember that cave. And we had cream and fruit, apples. And then the kitchen, in another room, had apple cider. Yeah, that's apple cider. You get drinking off that, yeah, yeah. But I
Feel pretty good.
one time they sent me I got too much of it, hit the fan, and I stopped it.
Well, what's your motto in life? Do you have a motto or a philosophy you live by?
Stay out of ornaments. Stay out of ornaments, and don't drink too much whiskey. Is that a good answer?
Yeah. Well, what's a typical day like for you at 100? What time do you usually get up, and what do you do? And
Oh, well, I wake up about 6:30 in the morning, and then by the time I get downstairs, it's around 7:30. I'd say about I'm downstairs by about 7:45. And then, on Sundays, I get up at 6:30 all the time. And then Sundays I'd be downstairs by 8 o'clock. And then maybe 7:45, I'll say it like that. And then eat breakfast. And during that, about 8:45, here comes the school bus on Sunday, and you pick me up and take me to church. And then if you need to pick up somebody, they got about 3 now, but I have known them about 6 or 7 in the bus. But they have 3 or 4 buses to go by and pick up people and take them to church, and then they bring you back home by around 1 o'clock, no, 1:30, 2 o'clock, someplace like 1:30.
well, what time do you usually go to bed?
9 o'clock.
And during the day, do you read or do you watch TV or?
No, I have puzzles to make. There's puzzles in the paper that I get, and they have the answers over here and nothing, but I put the answers in this puzzle. And it takes me a little while. I have today's puzzle, today's paper over there. I saw it a while ago.
The crossword puzzle.
Yeah. And you put the words over here, and you can put in here and fill in that line. That's how I just say a crossword puzzle, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I do it every day. Every day there's a piece of the paper about like that, and I fill it in every day because I can take this word and put it over here.
Mm-hmm.
What's the biggest challenge to being 100?
Challenge?
Mm-hmm.
Behave yourself. I'm not a very good answer.
Oh, but what's the hardest thing about being 100?
Hardest thing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, goodness gracious.
When did you give up driving?
When I moved here, I I got drinking too much and cigarettes, and I found out I quit. That helped me out to drive more. But to drive, I haven't. I've quit driving now. Does that answer it? I quit driving, and I depend upon the school bus, and then the doctors. I have a lady, the chauffeur, will take me to the doctor. I'm a patient. That's what it is. I'm a patient.
Right.
That's what it is.
Well, do you have anything on your bucket list you still want to do?
Oh, goodness gracious, what am I going to say?
Anything you haven't done that you still want to do in life?
I want to continue. Oh, I read the Bible. That may not be even. And I have read the Bible quite a bit. Let's see, what else? I hand out pamphlets to people and they come in.
Was there anything in life?
I'm Peter.
Anything in life you haven't done that you'd like to do?
Stay on whiskey. That might not be a good answer, but just for fun. I quit that stuff a long time ago. So cigarettes, quit cigarettes, smoking cigarettes, too, drinking whiskey.
Did you serve in the military?
No, ma'am, I couldn't up because my cousin and I were playing. We were playing a slingshot. Don't know if you know what a slingshot is.
Uh-huh.
I stood down and hit this eye. And then hit this eye right there, and it got me cuckoo for a while, if you know what cuckoo is. And I do not have much vision in this eye.
Mm.
But this one, yeah, I make it chew pretty quick. But this eye, I don't have much vision in this. It's gradually going away, I think, but I still have good vision in this eye here.
So that kept you out of the military vision?
Yeah.
To pass it?
Yeah. And then I had Lewis, my oldest boy. He was born, and he kept, I can't think, maybe on the nest a little bit, put him in service. Thought maybe I'd take some of it out of him. He was in service for about, 4 or 5 years maybe. And it kept him out of this drunken stuff for a while. And it went back to him. And he married and had 2 girls. Heather never got married. Heather never did get married. Jamie got acquainted with the boy. And they got married, and he wanted a boy while he was in service. She had a boy while he was in service. And then later on in life, about, I'll say 5 or 6 years, she had one little girl, so she had a little girl. And she couldn't think of a middle name for her. I said, Reen. Who's Reen? Alice Lorraine Brown. So she put the little girl's name, Kayla Reen DeSoto. That's the little girl's name. It's the Reen. There's my Lorraine's name. We've got Lorraine is my wife's middle name.
Is this
Alice Lorraine Brown is mine. Alice Lorraine Chickasha. Lorraine, I'm trying to think. I can't think of the word to put there, but anyhow, Lorraine's Alice Lorraine. I can't think of the last name, but I may be able to think of it pretty soon.
And this is your great-granddaughter?
Yeah. Keenan Reed was a great-granddaughter, yeah.
Great-granddaughter. Great-granddaughter.
Keenan Reed, yes. And she's in school now. She's in about 6 years. Because she came a while back, been quite a while ago. She was at the head table. And she's noticed that she's my great-granddaughter.
Did you You had two boys as a father.
Huh?
You had two boys, right?
Yeah.
Did you ever do anything like camping or any adventures? Or?
We did some camping because we met places, Boy Scouts, a little bit of it.
Did you ever do any?
When I was born, we had Boy Scout in Atlanta, Missouri. We had camping once in a while. And then when I moved to Tulsa, we had the church would get together and we'd go camping here and there, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, if history were written today, what would you want it to say about you?
Ooh.
How would you want to be remembered?
Well, how am I going to say this? Make yourself a man out of yourself.
No, but how do you want people to remember you?
Make life, attend life, and do the best you can. And because I've greeted people at church, handed out programs at church, be remembered.
Yeah. You're a people person.
Hmm?
Said you're a people person.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't go to service. I did not go because on the other account they wouldn't take me. They wouldn't take me. But that's one reason why I asked Louis to become service, because when he passed away, the government did help us bury Louis. And Addie, my sister, my wife, before she passed away, bury me and then bury Louis, for instance, bury him out here, and then his wife, and then me, all four together.
Oh.
And that's what it's already paid for. I paid for it myself.
Got it all ready.
And you got it all ready for me to be with over here with my wife, and then Louis got drunk and he died, and he was buried over here, and his wife would be over here like that. It's already paid for, because I did it. And lots of times, I'd have them to put flowers on my wife's grave. And they needed anyone to let me know, and I'd give it to them. Because I went to them lots of times for them to put flowers on her grave. And I can take you to the grave where she was born right now if you want me to.
Let's go.
I could take you. I know how to do it. I know how to get there. I've been there lots of times.
I bet you
I
can.
can take you to it.
Tulsa's changed a lot since you've moved here, hasn't it?
Yes, ma'am. It changed a lot when I would come down here from Missouri in the 9th grade. And I would help Dad during the summertime. Then in the fall, I'd go back and go to school in Tulsa, Oklahoma, to the high school for the Atlas grave.
Do you consider Tulsa home?
Yeah. Because I bigger, Annie put me through high school, through seniors high school, and she found out that I could become a senior, get grade. I found jobs here and there. I was a job eater. You know what a job eater is? Good job eater. Man, 100 jobs.
Man, I have jobs.
What was your aunt's name that went to that you moved here with?
Cora Ethel.
Cora?
Cora Ethel Sneathen.
Smeathen?
It's an E-T-H-E-N.
And she's the one that was the osteopath?
Yeah.
Was that her maiden name?
Cora Ethel, that was her name. She never got married.
And there, Sneathen was her last name?
Yeah. Because there was a bunch of Sneathens came from England over here, and they settled. My mother was a Sneathen, and there's Aunt Maudie, Aunt Ode, all those were Sneathens. They were born in Illinois, and there was a big old puddle of water And I wanted to see that. And when Annie passed away, I got some of her money, and I went to see that. I went and saw it. And I saw the great puddle of water coming out of the sky, coming out of that puddle hole, or whatever you call it. I saw a big puddle of water, and I saw ditches around where they're made. I was happy.
That was in Illinois?
Sure was. Yes, sir.
And she graduated osteopathic school in I think you said 1908?
1918, she passed. That's when she started Tulsa, here in Tulsa in 1918.
Okay.
She had a degree, I guess, in about, latter part of 1917, but she had a degree here in 1918.
Okay.
And she went, and they were running doctors here in Tulsa in 1931. And she could do it. If he can do it, I can do it. She had a sister that married one, and then her husband did it. And he said, if he can do it, I can do it. And she did. I showed you her picture from me too.
That's determination.
Here it is. I have to get to it. I can't get to it, but I can show it to you.
That's okay. Do you anything else? Because we need to. Anything else you want to say before we cut the machine off? Because we've got to get you to your appointment. That's what I'm worried about. Oh, your hands are cold. We've got to get you to your appointment in a little while. So, anything else you want to add before we shut it off?
Well, I got the point that maybe I told you about me riding, putting a saddle on Charlie and us boys to go to Jake's or someplace to get us ice cream cone, or we never got any beer now.
Root beer maybe.
No, because you drink too much that you wouldn't use, you hadn't drunk so much of it. We did have apple cider. Apple cider.
Apple cider. That's good stuff too.
And I got so much of that I ran into a fence. I got myself all bleeding. I never did drink much apple cider. But we had an orchard up in Missouri. I remember when Dad had a big orchard, and he got permission from the bank in Grant City, Missouri. And they helped him out, and they had we had apples and peaches, and they had a big garden. Raised a lot of stuff in the garden. And potatoes and beans and cabbage, and that's just some of it. We had corn. Let's see, what kind of corn is it? They had in the garden, and then they had corn in the orchard. And they had we had a lot of apples and peaches.
Well, how would you do bath time? How would you do bath time when you were a youngster?
You get a bit of puddle of water in a cup, a bucket, and do it. We did have a what is it you call a lay down in?
A tub?
No, a bath. You lay down in the bathtub. Yeah, I guess there's a bathtub. There's a name for it, and I can't think of the name. But the bathtub, and we have one, like I have one here, and I have a room where I take a shower. And you're
When did you move in here?
about 5 years ago. I've been here about 5 years. 5 years, and maybe
2010, 2010-ish?
that's two. Well, I guess so, because I've been here about 5 years.
Okay.
Because I moved in 113, and then I having trouble with my tub, and so they put me to 129. Heather did that, and Heather charged me quite a bit. But then I got a chance to move in here. Boy, howdy. I'm glad I'm here because it's got me a shower in there, and I can, and then most of the time it's kind of hard for me to get in the shower. And I give me the front with the towel. And then in the back, I just went like this and on both sides around me and get myself all cleaned up. I feel pretty good then.
Yeah.
But I quit getting in that shower because it's easier for me to back here with a rug.
Right.
Yeah. But I take this part of it pretty good. The front part pretty good. I do it pretty. And then this left leg here is all swollen up. That's the doctor's.
Yeah, hopefully they can figure that out today. Well, I want to say thank you for talking with us.
I'm sorry.
No, you've been great.